Here's how to fix anterior pelvic tilt in 2.3 seconds. But the question is, if you can't do this, how do you do it? And if you can, how do you keep it this way? My name is Dr. RJ Burr, sports chiropractor and rehab expert. In the clinic, I have found fixing anterior pelvic tilt is mostly about body awareness more than anything. However, bringing awareness to the body and making it stick is not always easy. So I'm going to show you a simple strategy to help you fix your anterior pelvic tilt using the Reach 3 R's. Reset, restore, and reinforce. We're going to reset the tight muscles, restore proper low back mechanics and hip mechanics, and then reinforce the change with a body awareness and exercise drill. Not to mention, this will also help you strengthen your core. By practicing this, you'll find that you'll fix your anterior pelvic tilt and prevent it from coming back. Okay, for R1, we need a ball. We've got a Reach lacrosse ball here with a QR code. It's pretty awesome. It's got a whole muscle release playlist on there, but any ball works. Any balls hanging around that you've got. Softball, golf, no, golf ball's a little small, lacrosse ball, you get the point. Tennis ball, grab something. We're gonna use this to release our low back muscles. So in an anterior pelvic tilt, what typically happens is if you look at my belt line, we should have a parallel line from belt line and rib cage here. That allows our core to work optimally. Well, an anterior pelvic tilt presents with these two lines opening up like a pair of scissors, an open scissors pattern. So a part of an anterior pelvic tilt we find is that you'll have a lot of tension in the hip flexors up front and tension in the back. So for R1, we're gonna reset the low back muscles by using a ball. So it's pretty simple. You take that ball and we're gonna hit those muscles that are the pipe sausage muscles on either side of the spine. So I'm gonna get my right side here and I'm gonna lie down and you can see the ball here. I'll move my arm and I'm basically gonna roll around and seek and destroy. I'm gonna hit my head down here because it's a little easier. And I'm gonna roll, 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 move a little bit until, ooh, I found a spot. And if it's super sensitive, just hold it there and breathe through it through your nose. Give it like 90 seconds until it starts to melt away. In about 30 seconds, it feels better, but you wanna give it a full 90 to let go. It's better than grinding through it and creating a lot of pain. It might seem like ideal to do that, but it's really not, it's counterintuitive. So I'm gonna roll around, maybe find a second spot if I can, do the same thing. And then after that, we want to make sure to, those are those paraspinal muscles in the low back. Just to the outside of those pipe muscles is your QL, it's a core muscle as well. So I'm gonna roll so it goes more laterally of the ball away from my spine. And I'm gonna seek and destroy there too, where I have a spot right in there in the QL. And that little knotty spot, it's a little knotty, a little yachty, a little knotty. And I'm gonna hold there and breathe through my nose. Same thing, 90 seconds. Find a few spots, 2-3 spots, and then move on. Try the other side if you got some stuff there, but focus on those main spots to release those back muscles, and we'll move on to R2. R2 is gonna be, which one is that? Reinforce? No, that R2 is gonna be restore normal joint mechanics. So what happens is with anterior pelvic tilt, because you're here like this, it affects low back, pelvis, and your hip. And a big culprit of that is your psoas. Your psoas is a hip flexor muscle that attaches to your spine. It crosses the pelvis, SI joint in the front here, and then it goes into your actual femur, your hip joint. So it crosses 3 joints, low back, SI joint, and hip. So it influences that whole system there. So to restore mechanics, we can help stretch out that muscle so that way we can not only get rid of the tightness of the low back, but also in the front here so we can get in a better neutral position, which is our ultimate goal to get rid of anterior tilt. So I'm gonna show you my left side here. We're gonna use a triplanar hip flexor stretch. What does that mean? It's a hip flexor stretch that we're also gonna use our upper body to get it in different directions. So half kneeling here, and you might have seen a hip flexor stretch where you just kind of willy-nilly do this. That's fine, but not for our intent here. This stretches out the hip and the capsule, doesn't really get the psoas. So what we need to do is actually tuck under here, which is good because the opposite of an anterior tilt is a posterior tilt. So you learn how to do a posterior tilt here to get more neutral. What happens is when you do a posterior tilt, a couple cues here, pull your belt buckle up towards your nose, tuck your tail, and either one works. And once you hold that, you'll notice if you lunge forward, you'll feel the tightness in the hip way sooner than if I just willy-nilly did it this way. So tuck under, come forward a little bit, feel a little stretch in the hip. Just this alone, you start to get some hip flexor stretch. However, we talked about that psoas is not just here, it goes up into your spine as well. So we can use the upper body now by reaching over the top and away. So I'm gonna tuck under, go forward, reach over the top and away, and now I can feel it up and through here. If you don't, you can always try punching across and you can get it that way. So you can see what I'm doing here with the arm. I'll tuck under and lunge forward, take the arm, reach over the top, and you can see how I'm going this way. Kind of think of it here. Here's the muscle, and when I reach, it's pulling. It's pulling here. So I'm pulling both directions, get a huge stretch. You should definitely feel this here. Do about 10 reps. 10 reps maybe here, or just choose the one you like the best. 10 to 20 reps is totally fine until you feel that sucker loosen up. And then we'll move into R3, which is reinforce the most important part, because now that we loosen the muscles, we're gonna use an awareness exercise in order to understand how to get out of anterior tilt, get more neutral, and then learn how to cement the change so we don't keep falling into a J-Lo booty, sticking the butt out, anterior tilt all the time. Speaking of which, we're gonna learn how to J-Lo booty and plumber butt. So for R3 reinforce, we're gonna start on our hands and knees here. And this is really important for awareness. We're gonna do some pelvic tilting here. So anterior and posterior pelvic tilt, but what's more memorable is J-Lo booty and plumber butt. You'll never forget. J-Lo booty and plumber butt. This is not a cat-cow. You wanna think about keeping the torso quiet, and we're moving the belt line like tailbone up toward the ceiling, tuck the tail. J-Lo booty, plumber butt, right? Once you have, this can be wonky, this can be tough for some people, that's okay. Practice it. Once you have that, now we're gonna use the posterior tilt in awareness and stabilizing exercise. We're gonna lie down what's called 3 months prone, but we're gonna rest our forehead on our fingertips like this. And from here, we're gonna notice that my butt's kind of sticking out, right? Naturally I have an arch going on here, and some people with a huge anterior tilt might have even more like this. What we wanna actively do now is do that same plumber butt, or that belt buckle toward the nose, or tuck the tail, whatever you wanna call it, in order to watch, neutralize my spine. But here's the big key here. You don't want to just squeeze the butt to do that, right? And so you want to slowly pull your belt buckle up towards your nose using your abs. Notice my butt's not squeezing. If you can't do that, that's fine. Use your butt first. Squeeze the butt to neutralize, but then try to slowly let the butt go and maintain that position. So you're really using your abs right now to keep your pelvis and your rib cage connected out of that open scissors position. They're parallel now. So now that I have this position, I'm simply gonna hold and breathe. And I'm breathing through my nose. And I'm breathing to my belly. Activating my breathing, my core breathing. If you wanna know more about this, link up there. And specifically my belly, what I wanna feel is that when I breathe in, my stomach pushes against the ground, my spine raises up toward the ceiling, and when I breathe out, it sinks down. But I'm maintaining my tilt while doing this. I'm not going breathe in and then letting it go completely in J-Lo booting. We're not doing that. We're holding position, breathing through it. Once you have the breath through it, we're gonna add some leg motion now. Here's the thing. What happens is that when we anterior tilt, or should I say, when we move our legs, we tend to go into anterior tilt when we don't have proper core stability, because our body's way of cheating and trying to create some spinal stability when we can't do it ideally, all right? It just means a cheat. Anterior tilt tells me that you're cheating through your core for what it can't do. And so we gotta train out of that. So what happens is that your core is meant to be stable and to be an anchor point from where your leg muscles pull from. So what happens is that when we move here, this can affect our low back. You'll feel this in just a minute. So what happens is, if I tuck under and bring my heel to my butt, at a certain point, I can't get any further. To get further, I gotta arch my back to get there, right? The problem is that now to do this, I'm constantly cranking on my low back and my hip flexors right now. And so our goal is to get out of that pattern. So what we're gonna do is tuck under, hold that, and then slowly think about bringing our heel to our butt as best you can without letting that go. And what you will feel when you control this is you'll get some stretch in your quad or maybe your hip flexor in the front. So what you're doing is training your ability to move your legs without cheating through the back. And at the same time, while you have this, you should breathe through it. This looks pretty simple, but you'll find it's sometimes hard to control not tilting your pelvis, especially if that's your default pattern with anterior pelvic tilt. It is hard to maintain neutral and to be able to do this. So a nice side effect of this is that you're actually learning better core control. You get a little bit of core strengthening, you have awareness, and you're getting a little bit of some quadriceps and hip flexor stretch at the same time. And the whole idea now is that can you move your legs while maintaining neutral spine? So that way when you're in an upright position and moving around, which the camera's cutting me off, right? Can you walk around and move while maintaining a neutral spine, right? As opposed to going like this. So even afterward, when you're done with this, you can try, get yourself into a neutral spine away from anterior tilt, and then try to move your legs and see, can you bring your heel to your butt as closely as possible without super cheating into your back here. So there you have it. That's how you fix anterior pelvic tilt in 2.3 seconds, but it requires body awareness and understanding of what anterior tilt is, and then making an intentional change to change it. So use this strategy here, keep practicing it, and then when you walk around and do normal things, work on that ability to stay connected and not let yourself fall into a willy-nilly anterior tilt. This is not a strengthening problem. This is a coordination and stability issue. So you have to train your body how to feel and how to coordinate this function. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments here. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know what future content you'd like to see, and I'll see you next time.